everyone. Today we're gonna be converting radicals to fractional exponent and vice versa. This is the second part. I will put the link of the first part in the description box below. So these three expressions that we have here are called equivalent expressions. So equivalent expression means they mean the same thing. So this is the rule for square root. So let's jump into some examples here. As you can see, they are variables, but this time around there are numbers already over here as an exponent. So how do we change this into two different ways? So we're supposed to change it because there are three of them and we're given one. So we need to change it so that we can come up with the other two expressions. So this one actually is similar to this expression over here. So then I need to come up with two expressions that would look like this. So please, if we look at the expression over here, the m is the exponent. So in here, the m stays as an exponent, and then the base is still the same. So I can go ahead and write x to the fifth power. And then there's an exponent 1/2. So the radical actually represent an exponent of 1/2. And then for this one right here, remember if exponents are like in this type of exponent, there's a power of a power. We are supposed to multiply them across. So that means it, just like this one over here, 1 times 1 is m, and then that's over 2 because m over 1, 1 times 2 is just 2. So the same thing for this. This would come out to be x to the power. 5 times 1 is 5. And then there is an invisible 1. 1 times 2 is 2. So x to the power 5/2. So these are the other two expressions that are equivalent to the first one. At this time, I would encourage you to pause this video and try this problem out on your own. And when you're done, unpause it and check your answer. Okay, so we have x to the 7th power. So we can go ahead and this from this form here, we need to come up with these two forms over here. So this, as you can see here, this numerator 7 represents the m. So I can go ahead and write the base of x. Our base here is x. So I can go ahead and write x to the 7th. And then that's a square root. So this is the second form. This is the first one. This is the second form. To come up with the third one, this should come out to be, so again, the base is still x. And then our m is 7. So I go ahead and write 7. And then the exponent here is 1/2. So that means if we multiply 7 times 1 is 7, and the invisible 1 times 2 is 2. So that's why we have x to this to the power of 7/2. So these three expressions again are equivalent. Did you get the same answer as this? Good. Perfect. So these rules that we have here is exclusive only for square root. Now let's have the general rule here. So the general rule means it doesn't matter if it's a square root, a cube root, fourth root, fifth root. So the n here, or the index, represents the roots here. So that's the nth root of b to the power m. So it's pretty much the same thing. We set it up. We're supposed to come up with two other expressions that would be equivalent to this. So the first one right here, our m. So this one is actually similar to this. So our m is 3 and our n is 5. So I want you to look at this. M is 3 and our n is 5. And so we plug that in here. So this becomes the square, it's not anymore called square root, but instead we have the fifth root of x to the 3rd power. Okay, so that's the m and that's the n. So that's the m, that's the n. Okay, so this is the, that's the answer right here. Now let's move on to the second notation. So it's gonna look like this. So we go ahead and write that's x to the, again, our m is 3 and our n is 5. So I go ahead and write 3/5. So that is x to the exponent 3/5. At this time, I would encourage you to pause this video and try this problem out on your own, and when you're done, unpause it and check your answer. Okay, we go over the problem here. So again, this is our n and this is our m. So it's pretty similar to the first notation. M and, no, that's the n and that's the m. So then we have to come up with this two notation right here. So this should be x to the 5th power to the exponent 1/8. And so if we multiply, 5 times 1 is 5, and then invisible 1/8 is 5/8. So that's x to the power 5/8. So these three notations that we have here, the first, second, and third, are equivalent expressions. Did you get the same answer as this? Good. Perfect. If you find this video helpful, hit like and subscribe for more math videos. See ya!